Most men think hydration is simple. You feel thirsty, you drink water, problem solved. But the truth is, hydration is one of the most misunderstood and underestimated pillars of men's health. It's not just about quenching thirst, it's about fueling every single cell in your body. And when you're not properly hydrated, things begin to slip. Your focus dulls, your stamina fades, your muscles feel weaker, your skin ages faster, and even your testosterone levels take a hit. Hydration isn't just something you should do, it's something your health depends on, especially as you age. Every system in a man's body relies on water to function. Your brain is nearly 75% water. Your muscles and joints depend on fluid to move efficiently. Your cardiovascular system uses water to circulate nutrients, oxygen, and hormones. And your endocrine system, the delicate network that regulates testosterone, energy, mood, and sexual performance functions best in a hydrated state. When you start to run low, even slightly, the body goes into conservation mode. You may not even feel thirsty yet, but the signals are already there. Fatigue, poor recovery after workouts, or sudden cravings for sugar or caffeine. What most men don't realize is that hydration is about more than just water. Drinking water is essential, yes, but if that's all you're doing, you might still be dehydrated at the cellular level. Your body also needs electrolytes, minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium to actually absorb and use the water you drink. Without those, the water you consume often moves through you too quickly, leading to frequent urination without real replenishment. That's why some men drink all day and still feel tired, foggy, or dry skin. It is not just about how much water you drink it's about how well your body retains and utilizes it. And here's another secret. Your hydration needs to change with your lifestyle. If you're physically active, if you live in a hot climate, if you consume alcohol or caffeine regularly, or if you're over 40, your hydration needs increase. As we age, the body's water content naturally decreases, and our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. That means many men walk around in a state of chronic, low-level dehydration without even knowing it. And that low-grade dehydration slowly chips away at energy, performance, and hormonal balance. Let's talk testosterone. Research shows that even mild dehydration can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, and reduce testosterone levels in men. When cortisol goes up, testosterone tends to go down. It's a biochemical seesaw. That means if you're not drinking enough and staying properly hydrated, you're indirectly sabotaging one of the most important hormones in your body. And the signs might be subtle: lower sex drive, less motivation, slower muscle recovery, and a dip in confidence that you can't quite explain. So, what's the solution? It starts with changing the way you think about hydration. It is not a task to check off, it is a strategy to build into your daily rhythm. Just like sleep, movement, and nutrition, hydration is a foundation. And the stronger that foundation, the more resilient you become, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. When you're well hydrated, everything functions better. You think faster, you recover quicker, your workouts feel smoother, your mood is lighter. Even your skin looks better. Hydration is one of the easiest, most cost-effective upgrades you can make to your health, and yet it's the one most overlooked. Because it doesn't come with a flashy label or a dramatic before and after photo, but it does deliver lasting, internal strength, and that strength shows up in ways you can feel every day. Now that you understand how essential hydration is, not just for survival, but for performance, energy, and hormone balance, let's talk about how to do it right. Because most men simply drink water when they remember, or chug a bottle after a workout, thinking that's enough. But optimal hydration requires more intentionality, more awareness, and just a little bit of smart routine building. Start with your morning. After a full night's sleep, your body wakes up dehydrated. You've lost water through breathing, sweating, and simply not consuming fluids for 7 to 8 hours. The very first thing you do when you get out of bed should be But here's the trick. Don't just drink plain water. Add a pinch of natural sea salt or Himalayan salt to your first glass, or squeeze in fresh lemon juice. This adds essential electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and trace minerals that help your cells actually absorb the water instead of just flushing it through your system. It's like unlocking the front door so hydration can enter your system instead of knocking and walking away. Another morning upgrade. If you're someone who jumps straight into coffee, understand that caffeine is a diuretic. It causes your body to lose water. That doesn't mean you have to give up your morning brew, but it does mean you should drink 1 to 2 full glasses of water before your first sip of coffee. Doing so sets a strong hydration base, protects your adrenals, and makes sure your nervous system isn't starting the day under unnecessary stress. But hydration doesn't stop with water and salt. Food plays a surprisingly big role in your hydration status, especially if you build meals that are water-rich in raw fruits and vegetables like cucumber, watermelon, celery, and oranges are incredibly hydrating. Not only do they contain high water content, but they also provide potassium and magnesium, 2 electrolytes that most men are chronically low in. When you start building your meals around whole, colorful, water-dense foods, you're hydrating your body without even thinking about it. And don't underestimate the power of magnesium, especially for men over 30. Magnesium plays a key role in muscle function, blood pressure regulation, energy metabolism, and sleep quality, all of which impact testosterone and libido. Most modern diets are deficient in magnesium. That's why adding a magnesium-rich drink, such as a magnesium citrate powder dissolved in water at night, can improve your hydration, lower stress, and help you sleep better, all in one habit. Now let's talk about how your hydration affects your physical performance. Whether you're lifting weights, running, doing manual labor, or simply on your feet, throughout the day your muscles and joints need fluid. When you're dehydrated, your risk of cramps, fatigue, and even injury increases. Your endurance drops. You recover more slowly. Hydration isn't just about making your mouth feel wet, it's about keeping your blood volume stable so nutrients and oxygen can circulate efficiently. If you've ever hit a wall during a workout, or felt unusually sore after basic exercise, there's a good chance poor hydration was part of the problem. But perhaps the most ignored hydration mistake men make is ignoring thirst altogether. As we age, our thirst response becomes duller. You may not feel thirsty until you're already 1 to 2% dehydrated, and that's enough to affect your mood, memory, and alertness. So instead of waiting for your mouth to feel dry, learn to spot the subtle signs. Dry skin, low energy, brain fog, darker urine, even sudden irritability. These are all signs your body is calling for water, even if your brain hasn't caught up yet. And let's not forget how hydration affects mental sharpness and emotional resilience. Studies have shown that mild dehydration reduces short-term memory, attention, and reaction time. It also affects mood. Men who are even slightly dehydrated often report increased anxiety, irritability, and a shorter temper. That foggy feeling at 3 p.m., the lack of motivation in the late morning, or that mid-meeting crash, often it's not your diet or your sleep, it's hydration. And once you experience the clarity and calm that comes from proper hydration, you'll never want to go back. To stay ahead of dehydration, use this simple rule. Aim to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's roughly 90 ounces of water. And if you're working out, sweating heavily, or spending time in heat, you'll need more. The best strategy: don't wait until you're thirsty. Sip throughout the day. Keep a reusable bottle with you at all times, at work, in your car, at your desk. Make water access automatic, not an afterthought. And yes, your hydration strategy should also include what to avoid. That means cutting down on dehydrating habits, like excessive alcohol and soda. These drinks are not neutral. They pull water out of your system and demand even more hydration to compensate. If you do drink, try to pair every alcoholic beverage with a full glass of water, and consider adding electrolytes the next day to speed up recovery. Hydration isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent and aware of how your choices impact your performance and well-being. Finally, let's talk about the deeper benefit of optimizing your hydration. Discipline and self. When you prioritize hydration, you're sending yourself a message every day. I take care of myself, I'm intentional, I'm not running on empty. That mindset bleeds into your workouts, your nutrition, your relationships, and your work. You carry yourself differently. You're more alert, more resilient, more capable. It's not just about drinking water, it's about honoring your biology. So yes, it's simple, but it's not small. Because when done right, hydration becomes a daily act of strength, a cornerstone habit that supports every other part of your health journey. When you begin to see hydration as a cornerstone habit, you unlock a new level of control over your life, and that's where everything changes. You begin to realize how interconnected hydration is to your performance, your mindset, your drive, and yes, even your confidence. Because when your body is functioning at full capacities, when your blood flows efficiently, your brain stays sharp, and your hormones are stable, you stop surviving the day and start commanding it. For men, especially those over 40, this is crucial. Aging isn't about decline, it's about adaptation. And one of the smartest adaptations you can make is to fine-tune your hydration strategy to match your body's evolving needs. As your metabolism slows slightly, your lean muscle mass shifts, and your hormonal rhythms become more sensitive. Hydration becomes less about quantity and more about quality and timing. It's no longer enough to just drink more water. Now, it's about when you drink, how you hydrate, and what else you're doing to support absorption and retention. Let's dig into timing, because this often gets overlooked. Instead of gulping down a ton of water at random times, which often leads to poor absorption and frequent bathroom breaks, aim to space your hydration throughout the day in a rhythm that supports your energy cycles. Drink water first thing in the morning. Sip consistently through the morning hours when your cortisol and mental activity are highest. Hydrate pre and post exercise, and taper slightly toward the evening to avoid disrupting sleep with late-night bathroom trips. That structure allows your body to stay balanced without feeling overwhelmed or flushed. Another powerful tool: infused water, not just for taste but for enhanced function. Adding sliced cucumber, lemon, ginger, or berries to your water isn't just refreshing, it subtly supports digestion, alkalizes the body, and delivers trace minerals and antioxidants that further amplify hydration's benefits. Think of it as giving your water a purpose. Beyond hydration, it becomes nourishment. Now, let's zoom out for a moment. Think about how many of your daily frustrations, setbacks, or dips in energy might be rooted in something as basic as dehydration. That mid-afternoon crash, the fog during your workouts, the irritability during meetings, the struggle to focus, or the slower recovery after a long day. So often, we chase big solutions, more supplements, more routines, more motivation, when the real fix starts with something incredibly foundational. Hydration is one of those invisible forces that either supports you or sabotages you, and once you make it visible, everything else feels easier. The beauty of hydration is that it compounds. Unlike a stimulant or a quick fix, it builds on itself over time. When you stay hydrated consistently, your body stays in a lower stress state, your nervous system feels more regulated, your cardiovascular system performs more efficiently, your digestion works more smoothly, you sleep more deeply, you think more clearly. And these benefits aren't temporary, they build a foundation of resilience and high performance that shows up in every area of your life. And here's something else most people overlook. Hydration affects your mood. Research has shown that even a 1 to 2% drop in hydration levels can increase the perception of stress, decrease cognitive performance, and lower feelings of. If you've ever felt inexplicably irritable, short-tempered, or emotionally flat, hydration may be playing a role. And for men trying to maintain a sharp mental edge in business, relationships, and personal growth, your emotional state is not something to overlook. That brings us to the deeper truth. Hydration is self-respect. It's not glamorous. It doesn't get you likes on Instagram. But it's the kind of quiet discipline that pays dividends for years to come. Because hydration isn't about perfection. It's about present. It's about being fully awake in your body, able to perform, focus, connect, and lead without constantly fighting fatigue, fog, or frustration. And when you embody that level of presence, something shifts in your identity. You're no longer just someone who tries to be healthy. You become a man who honors his body, who understands that power doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from supporting smarter. And hydration is one of the smartest, most overlooked ways to do just that. So if there's one takeaway from this message, let it be this. Start treating hydration as a performance enhancer, not a background habit. Make it intentional. Make it strategic. Build rituals around it. Morning salt water. Midday infused hydration. Evening magnesium.com. And throughout the day, keep your bottle nearby like it's your most essential piece of gear, because in many ways, the men who feel their best, lead their best, lead their best, and live their best don't wait for their bodies to break down before making changes. They optimize the basics. Early and hydration is one of the most basic, powerful, and transformational shifts you can make. So yes, drink your water, but do it with purpose, with consistency, with the awareness that you're not just quenching thirst, you're building a stronger, clearer, more focused version of yourself every single day.